locally and stream in Discord, and if we have issues, I can figure that out. All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right. So, I'll also turn my fan off because I bet that's gonna get annoying. Okay. So, main reason I'm doing this call is just because, obviously a lot of changes going on with how Nike's storing their sessions. So I guess we'll just kind of dive right into it. As you have questions, post them in the Q&A channel. And I'll answer stuff as I see it, or other staff can answer it, or whatever. So let's first talk about what has changed in terms of sessions. So what we're seeing now is Nike's being a little more strict with sessions computer to computer. Sorry, I gotta mute that guy. All right. So it seems like if you're genning sessions now and you move it to another PC, you can basically only run one valid session at a time. And every time you log in on a different computer, it's gonna like turn off your session everywhere else. So let's say I gen accounts or gen sessions locally, and I move half of my accounts over to a server. I can't really run those accounts locally at the same time anymore. So what that means is your setups are probably going to have to adapt just a little bit to where you're keeping your accounts on the same machine every time. And this is kind of how I've been running my stuff for a few months now, and it's one of the few things I've managed to do right long term. So what I have set up basically is I have it so I can basically run two sets of tasks or for my accounts. I have 67 accounts on the server or on this PC. It's a 32 by 64, so I'm thinking I can run it basically two sets, which in most cases is fine. Sometimes when there's three pairs, you kind of have to prioritize, but for best success, that's kind of what I'm thinking you're going to see in terms of setups. What this means for you is you might have to invest in, a 24/7 server or bare metal server, something like that. It is honestly that's probably not the most important change. We're also seeing potentially sessions that are being genned are not basically passing Nike's uh, checks. Kind of hard to explain because we don't really know their system, but it seems like sometimes you can gen sessions and they'll get flagged. So if you want to test that, I'll give you guys an example here. Oh, I'm on sneakers. All right, I'll edit this one to a shoe coming up, and I'll show you guys how to do it. Okay, so I'll change it so you can see my whole screen. Okay, so a task will go through the pre-cart process. It's gonna launch the checkout window, and this is one of those things you don't want to do often if you can help it, just because um, it's probably not a great idea to just be sending requests like this, especially when a shoe isn't dropping. But what you can do is try and submit. And see that one, we got a unable to validate your payment, which I believe means you have a bad session. So that's great. Now that I'm figuring that out, I will say I didn't notice any errors on my accounts with sessions currently. I have out of 67, I have 59 with valid sessions, and the rest have the new login flow. So,
Can you do an experiment real quick?
yeah, what's that?
Run a manual task on that account that just had the payment validation failed
Hmm.
and see if you can add an item off of Nike.com to your cart
Okay.
or if it just blocks it entirely.
Yep, I gotcha. So I'll try that real quick. But that's what we've been using so far to kind of test your account's sessions outside drop time. Uh, it's not the easiest or most fun thing to do. But if you guys haven't noticed by now, Nike is just going to be kind of painful for the next probably month or so until Dive and Shizumi and the other devs have everything completely ironed out. Which it sucks, but that's just how Nike is a lot of the time. All right, so let's go to. Okay. Let's see here.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I was noticing on the accounts that had gotten checkout retry exhausted was that I couldn't add anything manually until I created a new session. So I'm curious if it's repeatable here.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So
This.
that's what I was seeing.
Okay.
If a session seems to have an issue with going through the cart process, recreating that
Yeah.
session seemed to have unlocked it.
So this would be a good kind of troubleshooting thing for you guys. You get to see how we troubleshoot stuff. So right now I'm assuming this account probably has a bad session. I'm gonna go to activity, and we'll do, I think auto browse is now what we have to do. Start it up. And I'm gonna try what we call the 2-tab trick. The account is gonna do, whatever its pre-login stuff. You're gonna see the window pop up to log in. Assuming it's still an old login flow, which it is. It's going to enter everything in, and I'm assuming this is going to fail just because of how things have been going lately. Fill itself in. So what you're going to do, you're going to save the login there. Just go to Nike.com. You can scroll around if you want. Sometimes I'll go to another product. You don't really have to do this. And then I'll favorite it, and everything will be filled in. You can sign in. Okay, now you're logged in here. And all you do is just click this Nike symbol. Good to go. So I'm going to let this run in the background while I'm explaining some more stuff, and then we'll come back later and see how that session is doing. So, little recap. Basically, if you have sessions before, when was it pushed? Where's the update log? Oh, there we go. Before the 15th. If you have sessions before then, you should probably just trash them. Because basically the sessions are just not good anymore. After that point, if you've gen sessions, you're going to see one of two things. Like I posted in the announcements channel. This is the old login kind of modal. This is what we're referring to as the old login flow. And then this one is what you'll see when there's a new one. So I bet if I go on my local, no proxies or anything. And so it is proxy based. So right now I'm getting the old session or the old login flow. But like on my MacBook at work, I'll get the new one. And so what you're gonna do if you get this new one is because right now Project Enigma doesn't really know kind of what to listen for after you log in. It doesn't really know what to save. You can't save these sessions as is, but what you can try and do is force the session by going through the old link. So what you're gonna do is start an auto browse test just like normal. And let's see if I can actually do one on account. And okay. Trying to find one with a decent proxy. Okay, that one's good. All right, so we're gonna go to auto browse mode. do its thing. I'm gonna stop it here. Actually, gonna go to Nike.com/launch. This is the sneakers page. You're gonna sign in manually, and this one's actually getting. There we go. Okay, so this is the new flow. I believe it's this one. So I'm gonna copy. Where are we? That. Steal this account. I'll find you and steal your accounts back. I don't know. Okay, then you can sign in. Now we'll go to Nike.com. Oh. As you can see, it's not perfect. That one errored out, I think. Try one more time.
I think you have to go to .com instead of the launch on the first tab.
Did I go to launch the first time?
Yeah, I think you
Oh, okay.
auto-filled to launch on the first one.
Alright, so let's try that again. Nike.com. There we go. So now we're logged in. After that, you can paste in the old link. And then I think you can just click this and go back, and it should have the session. Not? Log in one more time just in case. Okay, now we're in. And now the automation is starting back up again. So that's how you can bypass the new login flow. I don't really know how great these sessions are going to be. They could be clipped, they could not be. I personally haven't had the time to test those myself. So that is the login flow for both the old session and the new session. Does that make sense to you guys? Is there anything you want me to go over again? Because I know I kind of went fast.
It's obviously not great. We're hoping that
sorry.
Dive and those guys can figure out a better way to do this.
Is there a Twitch link?
It's now. It just watch in the voice chat because Twitch is being weird.
I cannot watch it. It says stream full.
Okay, then I do have to get Twitch going. All right.